All right, welcome into another edition of Catching Up with Tommy Mac podcast here on 1010XL's podcast platform, right here at the 1010XL podcast studios at the headquarters of the Superstation. My show brought to you by Team Tommy Mac. Check them all out at TommyMac.net or all over social media. Best in class, no doubt about it. Always there when you need them. You can see them on TommyMac.net as well. Lots to get into before I hit the airways with Taylor Dahl for Helmets and Heels, 2 to 4 p.m. on 92.5 FM and on 1010XL.com. Looking forward to that as Lauren Brooks has the week off. Well, the combine is pretty much over. And one thing you can get out of it is that some of the positions or most of the positions of need on our team, they actually are pretty deep. They got some players. They tested well, ran very well, especially the corners and the off-ball backers, tight ends as well. But whether you're talking about interior D line, the edge, corner, linebacker, and tight end, they're all testing out really well, which means, and the depth means that at pick 56 and then in the 80s in round 3, you're going to have a shot at some really good players. And we'll see if, James Gladstone moves up the board. I did take a look at all the numbers and saw him a little bit on TV that Jacob Rodriguez, he probably helped himself. I don't know how high in the second round. I bet you he moves into the second round. Was great in the 3-cone drill, great in the 40, could jump, could move really well. He performed at a pretty high level, but we'll see how that all shakes out. And of course, franchise tag, the deadline is coming. That's tomorrow at 4:00. You must tag or not use the tag at all. Word is they won't use it on ETN, and I would not use it on Devin Lloyd. I'd wish him well if we couldn't come to an agreement on a long-term deal. I think he'll be heavily compensated out there, and good for him. He's a heck of a player. I do not want to see him go. I wouldn't want to see him go, but the tag's at that $27 million plus range. And no, I would not if I'm only going to use them the way I've been using them. If I'm going to use them to get after the quarterback even more, a lot more, then maybe if he can affect the QB. 25 pressures. I know how I feel about pressures, but we use that stat from time to time. He was third in the league at his position and 10 QB hits as well, which was ranked very high. So I think he can do even more of that. I've said that before, but it does close tomorrow at 4:00. Legal tampering begins on the 9th. So stupid. I mean, just start it. They wait till the 11th. The new league year will kick off and free agency will be upon us. We've had some trades already. The Houston Texans are moving and shaking. They send one of their old linemen, Titus Howard, to the Browns for a 5th-round pick. They take his salary as well. And then they go grab David Montgomery to be their running back. It must be a pretty significant injury and situation with Joe Mixon if they made this trade. I was looking at Montgomery because as a replacement for Travis. Travis, if they're not going to tag him, maybe they find some common ground. I don't think he's going to take the deal that the young man took with the Cowboys at $8 million a year. I think he'll want more than that. I think he deserves more than that. I don't know if the Jags will pay. If they do, great. We'd love to have him back. But if not, I thought Montgomery at $6 million and a third-day pick was a great bargain. And I think he's a heck of a back, and he's kind of what they need out there in Houston. So we better up that front line even more on the defense, get some more beef. Going to need it as they definitely miss Joe Mixon out there in Houston. But nonetheless, they're pretty active. Of course, the Browns needing help up front. Look, I think the Texans O-line got a bad rap that carried throughout the year. I do think they started bad, but they only finished giving up 31 sacks in the regular season. That's not. I mean, we were over 40. We didn't think that we were that bad. Obviously, 14 of those came in 2 games for the Jags, Rams, and Seahawks. But I think the Texans played better and continue to get better, that O-line. Nonetheless, they're breaking it apart as Titus Howard heads to Cleveland. We'll see what they do here. I doubt they're going to do much. News and notes around the National Football League. I saw some video, Max Crosby sparring with Sean Strickland. Tough guy getting in the ring with that guy. That guy don't mess around either. He doesn't go easy. I've seen a bunch of his videos. I know he's really outspoken. I don't care about that. I don't back him on any of that stuff, and I don't really know exactly what he says, but I know he's pretty outspoken. But when he gets in that ring, even sparring, he goes after it, man. He doesn't mess around. I had to drop my phone there. He doesn't mess around. So anyway, Max was a little bloody, but he looked like he was having a good time and great cardio, man. Nothing better. I'm telling you, nothing better than those boxing type workouts. It's going to be interesting what the Colts do with the tag. What do you do with Daniel Jones? Are you going to tag him? What do you do with Alec Pierce? You can't tag both of them, obviously. So one's going to get tagged. One, they hope they work it out. But how about that? That's pretty, man, they need a QB. They let AR go out for a trade, see if he can find one. I don't know if he will. I don't know how many teams would really be all over that. I said last week that maybe if he goes to a place that has a vet, that they don't need him right away, maybe groom him a little bit. Maybe you get something there. But interesting to see what they do up in Indy. And that could be good. I don't know, unless you're sending Brian Thomas somewhere and you bring in Alec Pierce. I don't see that happening. I'm sticking with Brian Thomas, but you never know in today's day and age. I saw where Kyler Murray, speculation to Cleveland. How about this? Kyle Murray, his 2026 salary is fully guaranteed. It's like 37 million, fully guaranteed. After the third day of the 26th year, almost 20 million is guaranteed for 2027. They're trying to get rid of him. Who did that deal? I know the guy's got talent. He's always had talent. But man, yeah, we're so quick to crown these guys. We want them to be our friend. That's what it is, man. You want to be right. I get it. I would too. You pay these guys big money, thinking it's what I'm going to get, and then it doesn't work out. You got to figure it out. Who's going to take that salary? I mean, look, Kyler Murray has tremendous talent. There's no doubt about it. But something ain't right. With that. And man, you're stuck with him for a long time. I thought that was really, really interesting. I saw a little article, sleeper free agents in the NFL. Andrew Wingard, Montaric Brown. It'll be interesting what they do with both those guys. I'd love to have Montero. Listen, Andrew Wingard had a great year. He did. And it's just my opinion. I think when he's already back and man in center field, I think he's great. He handles that no problem. He's got plenty of speed to do that. He's really good at blitzing and timing the blitz. He definitely is a hitter, so he's a physical guy. He will come up in that box. He will hit over the middle. He gets after people. There's no question. He's got good hands. He's got a good awareness of the ball. And he can come up and get back deep. I didn't think he could, but what he can't do is catch up to these tight ends. And look, it's hard. A lot of guys. I'm not trying to compare. I couldn't either. Once he got by me, I'm screwed. And look, he can combat that by not getting fooled, not jumping up on the play action and being with them. I think if he's on his hip, they don't run away from him. But when they get ahead of you, you got to have that makeup speed, right? So if they run whatever 4.6, you run a 4.5. Even then, it takes a little while to catch back up if you're off your key. That happened a few times, not a ton, but that's what I would target. Other than that, the guy played good ball for us. And he is a good insurance policy. It depends what he wants. Depends what you will feel like paying him. Maybe take a 1-year deal. Maybe just likes it here. He's been here forever. Think how many coaches he's been through. So that says a lot about Wingard. Normally guys don't make it with the new regime when you're, a special teamer, backup, part-time starter. But not just this regime, the past two as well. He survived them all. So we'll see what they do there. If they could figure that out, I'd be okay with that. Because look, we want Caleb to come back, and he'd be the upgrade speed-wise and physically. But is he ready to take over, those duties of knowing everything and anything in that backfield and up front. That's one thing about Wingard. He won't let you down there. Buster Brown to me deserves a contract. Again, what can you do? We're up against it. We're underneath it. They can renegotiate and whatnot. I do love the fact, you hear these trades. It's starting to happen. The juice is starting. The pot's stirring. Like teams are starting to make moves. It means we're getting closer, closer already. I know it's just March. Isn't it unbelievable? Just unbelievable how fast time is flown by. But yeah, man, it's gonna be exciting times here. Maybe they make moves. Maybe they do not. I think they're gonna have to do some restructuring. We know that, and bring down that salary cap. No question about it. Before I get into Team Tommy Mac, more football. I got a couple side notes, side stories. I watched a little basketball this weekend. Believe it or not, I know it's crazy. My wife's sick. She got the flu. She's fine. I mean, she's getting better, but she's pretty banged up. So she's back in the room, and I'm out. I'm trying to make myself busy and whatnot. Did my outdoor chores, but did everything basically. So I turn on the TV and I watched a little bit of Michigan State, Indiana, college hoop, and then yesterday I put on the Celtics game. But the reason why I bring that up is, man, Mike Tirico called that game, the NBA. That guy is unbelievable, and he's so good. He is so good at what he does, man. He does the Olympics. He does all the big football, the basketball, everything. He's just absolutely outstanding. How about Michael Jordan's driver? Tyler Reddick winning his third race in a row. Pretty cool. I'm not a NASCAR guy. My brother Bob, loves it. Got the TV in the garage, 24-pack of Bud Light. Forget about it. Gotta sit there and watch the race beginning to end. Pretty much every race. I thought that was pretty cool. Wins first three races of the season, which makes history. Pretty freaking cool, man. Pretty cool in my book. And my last thing is, I saw this, like the headline, so I read it. I'm like, I feel bad for this kid. Gets hurt. Then he's sitting in the stands. And I go on to click, read. I'm like, reading. His name's Javon. No, that's not his name. His name's Chad Baker Mazzara. He plays for Southern Cal. Got hurt. They didn't have room for him on the bench, they said, so he went up in the stands. I just think a couple rows up or whatever. I don't know how far to be at, honest. And then I'm like, reading about him. He's 26 years old, and he's on his fifth school. Like, how in the hell is that even in a common sense out there, like, acceptable? 26 years old, playing college hoop. I mean, what is the world coming to, man? I mean, look, if I played college football at age 26 and my personal athletic prime, I was starting for the Jaguars. I was way better at 26, way beyond better than 22, without question. My fifth year, I was 22. I had a great year. My junior year, or my fourth year, I had a great year. I was seventh in the nation in tackles. I averaged 15 a game for 2 years. I could play. There's no doubt. I wasn't a great athlete. I didn't run a ridiculous time and that kind of stuff, but I could play that level, especially. But I got way better, got faster, bigger, strong, all of it. Can you imagine playing college? Now, there would be guys your age too, so it evens it out a little, but not overall. I mean, you're still playing 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds. That's a big difference. Somebody's got to knock that shit off, man. I mean, seriously, 26 in college. Move on, son. Move on. Go to play pro somewhere. You can't make it in the NBA. Too effing bad. It's over then. It's over. Go dominate your rec league. Go dominate your pickup league or something. Maybe that'll, suit your fancy enough to get that out of your system. I know the money, and I know the teams want it because they want to win. I don't know. And you got to get with the times. I don't know if I'd get with the times, but I'd be looking at that kid. If he was my player, I'd be like, you're a loser. What are you doing here? Grow up and go to the real world. Your time's up. Your time's up. I'm sorry. You get hurt. People get hurt. JUCO, no, too bad. That counts. 26 years old should not be playing. Should not, in my opinion, should be playing in college, any sport for that matter. And what do you think about Detroit's Alex Anzalone? That guy with the blonde hair flowing. That guy can play. He's like Gardeck. So if you lose Gardeck, maybe you could bring him in if you lose Gardeck and Lloyd. I don't think they'll lose Gardeck, but he could be another Gardeck, another type backer, another type pass rusher. There's only so many available. We might have to get a little creative, right? You got Crosby. We're not getting Crosby unless something crazy happens. I don't see that happening. I'd love it. I'd be all for it. I don't care who they give up, but I'd be all for it. There's no question about that. But we're not getting him. Jalen Phillips, I'm not as so high on him as everybody else, but I know he's definitely a quality pass rusher. Adafe Awa, he's really good. He's good. He'd be a good situational guy. Who else? Quiddy Pay from Indy. He's going to be free. To get him, you need a third. You need to add. I also like that Nwosu over at the Seahawks. He's more of an outside backer too. So, hey, we need more guard decks. There's no doubt about that. Guys that can play backer and get off the get off and get to the quarterback and make something happen there. Look, we know that this whole 3 safety league is coming, right? You need 3. The Seahawks, Nick Emmons-Mori or whatever his name is, kid out of South Carolina, big safety, kind of like a Cam Chancellor, big, just can play up in the box, but athletic enough to get into space in the middle of the field and wherever he's needed. They used him a lot as a big nickel, third safety. Well, if you get athletic enough backers that can maybe handle some of that, you can maybe do something with it. You do have an Emmons-Mori on your team, I think, in Antonio Johnson. I think he could be that kind of player for you in your backfield. Now, granted, you got to figure out safety, right? Because I think he'd be my starting safety, but I could see if they used him maybe a nickel, come up, be that big nickel in the box. And they may have done that already, but he's definitely that kind of player. But you know how this league, it's all they'll copycat. It's a copycat league. What works for another team, other teams will start looking at it and will start trying to make that happen. Final notes with the NFL anyway. Javon Hargrave looks like he may be released. 33 years old. I don't unless Eric's not coming back, and you save money. He had a good year. He's solid. He's not on, he's not in his prime anymore at his age and the amount of reps and snaps he's taken, but definitely a leader, definitely a veteran. Probably help you a little bit, but I'm hoping a healthy Eric Armstead and a fire lit for full 17 games for him. I think he can make a difference. And look, that club does make a difference in pass rushing, without question. He probably shouldn't even be out there, but they didn't have anybody to. I mean, not put it in Mason Smith's hands. Austin Johnson, nice job. He'll be back, I think. He should be. But Mason Smith, you'd think would have jumped in there and taken over, but haven't seen that yet. It's going to be interesting what they do with him, what they do with Dwayne Smoot. They bring him back to try to make the roster again. He was like probably their 4th best D lineman overall. With Eric being 3rd, I'd say he was 4th. Devon was probably 4th or top 3, 4th. Devon had a great year. I'm not looking to upgrade Devon Hamilton. He's my nose. Now you want to grab somebody in the draft later that, younger and whatnot that can play that position, then maybe. But Devon Hamilton's he's earned it, and you know how I felt about him throughout his career. When he first came in, I thought he was going to be a great 3 technique. They didn't need him as a 3. They tried him at nose. Again, here you go. Thinking you can just take a guy and make him a different position. That nose tackle is different. You're getting hit with 2 every time. Pretty much almost every single time. You're getting chipped by a guard. Splitting the double teams. If you're not used to that, you're going for a ride. You go back and watch the tape, man. You see D-Ham splitting double teams like it's nothing against the run. And I'm telling you, I felt The year ago, I would write every play down like I do, and I'd be like Hamilton blocked 5 yards downfield, 10 yards. That didn't happen this year. That didn't happen this year. But we need Eric to stay healthy, and then we figure out if we can get one of these younger interior defensive linemen in the draft. I would imagine in the 4 picks, the second and the third rounders, you'd say a defensive lineman, you'd definitely a DB, tight end, and maybe an interior offensive lineman. I know that's not a massive need, but maybe so. Maybe so. I was asking Jacob earlier, Jacob and Thomas helped me with this show, if he saw that video that's going around of Robert Hainsey getting tossed by Jeffrey Simmons. Holy moly. Robert's a big dude. Jeffrey's a big guy. He must be super duper strong. When Dempsey asked me if I'd want Lindenbaum, the center that's going to be a free agent, I'm like, I don't think we need him. And then I saw that. I'm like, it's one play. You can't get too carried away. Maybe he just got his feet caught up. But, man, I don't know how many times that happened. And then it got me thinking, like, well, look, you think of the stretches, and it's not just the center. It just got me thinking, like, there were a lot of stretches where ETN was at 2.7 yards a carry, 3.7, as opposed to early on when he was having a great year. There was a stretch where he wasn't. It wasn't going very well. And then towards the end, he did better. But not, during that stretch, it was pretty bad. So that's not just him. I wonder if that, just not being physical enough, maybe you do need a little bit more beef up front, which brings me, look, Walker Little, play him at guard. Why not? Why not, man? If he, unless you can get a viable trade that's worth it, fine. But solves your tackle, 6 tackle issue, makes you a little bit bigger at guard, a little bit more powerful. Who cares what you paid him? You didn't even pay him, so paying him now, but you didn't pay him through the contract, so you're not on the hook for that one in that sense. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But I do think they will target an interior offensive lineman at some time. Be interesting what they do at running back if ETN is not back. How do they address that? Again, I thought Montgomery would have been a nice one. He is pretty good out of the backfield as well, but he's a pounder, he's a thumper. I guess you got that in Tootin, and maybe it's time to hand that over to him and let him get running. We will see as time moves on. All right, that's going to do it for me. I'm going to jump in helmets and heels with Taylor Dahl. We're going to have a good time per the usual. This show brought to you by Team Tommy Mac. Check them out at TommyMac.net. Hey, something new. Trade Winds Jackson, Murray Hill, good friend of mine, Chris, and his wife own it. They're the new owners, up and coming place, and a great place to watch all your sporting events. Great food as well. Beer and wine served, and right there in the heart of Murray Hill. Of course, Morgan & Morgan for the people.com, $30 billion. It's only gone up $10 billion since I started promoting them. Not because of me, but just how quick that happens. They win a ton. Of course, Carpet Man Flooring, more than just LVP. All kinds of flooring. Azar sausage, the best in your favorite dish or in a bun. Azar is the one. Freedom Finance at freedomfinance.llc for your fractional CFO. Newmark Phoenix Realty Group for commercial real estate. Salt Air Inn and Suites for a great boutique hotel. And Beach Life Rentals for all your rental needs. American Craft Distributors with Vita de Louis, Two Titmice, and Noble Coyote, the Mezcal. A great company with great spirits. Code Ninjas, of course, your technology for your kids, man. They got 6 locations. Get them. The quicker they learn about AI, the better off they're going to be. The quicker they learn about technology. It's not coding anymore. Way more to it. Security, all of it. They teach them young, ages 5 to 17. That's right. At Code Ninjas, codeninjas.com. Of course, big thanks to 1010XL for Allison and Thomas. Thank you for bringing it together. Appreciate you all checking it out. Y'all have a great, great day. Off to Helmets and Heels right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Until next time, y'all stay safe. Y'all be cool out there. We'll see you right here on Catching Up with Tommy Mac.